Good afternoon. Hi, Ross. Oh, hey. Ross
I
Cagney.
don't I don't look any better. I don't sound any better, but it's just another face over here. Sorry to disappoint the world.
So, it's not that I fired Ross. He had a little personal issue and he could not make it at least on time. Maybe he joins that later. But so we have Mr. Cagney Corbin to assist us today in this episode. How you doing?
Doing all right. How are you doing, sir?
Stop looking at your phone, okay? We don't do phones here. Okay, good. You must be busy with your tournament, right?
Yes, a lot going on. I had a nice conversation with the field today. We're going to continue to watch everything as it relates to, I believe it's Tropical Storm Elsa. The field did receive a substantial amount of rain today. The fields
Nice.
are currently fit. Tomorrow, the plan is to go there and outline the fields, make sure it's draining, get the initial base down. So if any more rain comes through, we at least have the outline put down. That way, come Friday or Saturday, we could finish the inside portion of the field. The plan is to have it all completed by tomorrow. And so when folks arrive Saturday, we have the schedule, we start on time, and we have a wonderful day. That's the plan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. No worries. We've had a lot of luck this year with the tournaments. No rain whatsoever, which is so rare.
Especially at Ross's.
Yeah, I can tell how difficult Ross' job is because I'm having some trouble here pretending to be Ross. But we'll do our best, and maybe we can see him later. We're going to go just quickly into three quick things that Ross likes to do mostly. And just, and we really like to follow our Florida players, the ones who have made national teams or selections. So we're going to start with the announcement of the roster for the USA Women's that had Chris Thomas in the roster. She's been here on the podcast, great player. And it's always, I don't know for you, Cagney, but doesn't it make a big difference when you're watching a game and you actually know somebody you may have played against or with?
Oh, it makes a massive difference. I mean, our level of involvement, our level of support goes to that next step. As soon as you see somebody that you know, whether it's on a first name basis, whether it's you've seen them play, whether it's you played with them or against them, having the ability to resonate well to that person, it really makes the sport that much more interesting.
Yeah, and so we'll probably have her at some point later in the year, maybe before, maybe after the Olympics. Also, we had the men's team announced on Friday by Coach Friday. And we got two of our players that, sorry, I'm trying, see, this is what I do normally, and I'm doing both things. We have our Perry Baker, probably his last Olympics, right?
I don't know. Hold on. I was talking with Brian Richardson, his high school coach, and we talked about Perry just turned 35. The second round of Olympics is just 3 years away. Perry will be 38, so the opportunity to play in 3 Olympics for Mr. Baker is pretty possible.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Why not? And he's so dedicated and so athletic. That would be great. We also had Perry on the podcast. That was a great episode, and hopefully we'll have him again. And also, we had this guy who is our guest today, a little bit later, if he shows up, right? Because he's not here yet, but you told me he was running late from training, so that's a great excuse. No problem. We'll wait for him. Mr. Malacchi. Oh, no, I screwed it up.
Malacchi Esdale.
Malacchi Esdale. My kids make fun of me because sometimes I don't pronounce things, 100%, but hey,
that's not the only reason we make fun of you, Charlie.
That's true. But hey, if you just English is weird, okay? So this is a great thing to have Malacchi on the roster. He is going as a reserve, but still it's a great accomplishment, and hopefully we'll see him for a long time. And we're going to talk to him in a little bit, hopefully, right? Correct. And then another thing that we want to, the third thing is another Florida product, like Ross likes to say, Mr. Cam Dolan. He scored a try, very sneaky try against England. Let's watch it. Boom. I love those tries.
That's great.
Well, there was like a meter and a half difference between him and the scrum half.
True enough. Charlie, remind me, isn't Cam captaining the USA side as well?
Man, I don't know.
He has. I'm not sure. So we may be able to get some double claim over there, representative and captain.
Yeah. Well, Cam has it. Also, he was on our first podcast, if you remember. I know you have followed us.
Yes,
and hopefully we'll have him again. And hopefully we have a lot of Naples guys, right, today? Because Mr. Esdale, he started his rugby career with the Naples Bears. Okay. Correct. So that is the three things. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of stuff, but let's just go on. We want to, as you can see on the screen, we have a sponsor today, the Fighting 69th Regiment Irish whiskey, which is a very special name for a whiskey, right? The Fighting 69. It actually sounds pretty cool. And we have Mr. Chris Liskowicz. I hope I pronounced that right. He's going to tell us. We're going to bring him on right now. Hi, Chris.
How you doing?
Good.
That was a better pronunciation I've heard from most people. So congratulations.
Okay, good. So the Malacchi thing is going to be forgotten.
There you go, Malacchi, sure. So thank you for having us on board today. You know, it's as people know, we right now are having all the you may have a hurricane coming, but we have a huge thunderstorms right now. I've lost power a few times in the last 20 minutes, so we're gonna do the best. But anyway, Fighting 69th. Why? You know, it's I'm the master blender, and the name actually is after a National Guard.
I don't know what happened. Everybody disappeared for a little bit.
Oh, there we go.
I was telling the people you were in New York right now, having some issues with the power and stuff. Welcome to the podcast, and really glad to have you as I think it's the first time that I can remember that the union has a sponsor for the summer sevens, and I think it's a very appropriate one.
It is. The 69th actually is a National Guard unit that's been in New York City since 1847, and they've led the St. Paddy's Day Parade for the last 147 years. But they've started from the Irish. Actually, one of the originators of the regiment was the gentleman that helped create the tricolor flag, you know, in Ireland. So it's the green was for the Catholics, the Protestants was for the orange was for the Protestants, and the white was for the peace to come between them, because they used to battle each other all the time for the right to fight the British, which kind of sounds like the Irish now, the right to fight the British in rugby. But, it's gotten really big. So this gentleman came over here, and they've done a great job, and they've been around since Civil War, World War I, World War II. And actually Afghanistan, Kuwait, they were fighting all the time. But one thing they're known for is they persevere. You know, they believe they find the right cause, and they never give up. They keep going. They do the right thing by everyone around, with the people that they work with and the people that they're trying to protect.
So let me understand. The founders of the company belong to the regiment, or it was they just used the name because like honoring?
They were honoring. There's a big event in Ireland each year for the tricolor flag celebration, and they actually have an Irish whiskey toast, the regiment. Every St. Patrick's Day in the commander's office before they march to St. Patrick's Cathedral on that day, and the mass is held for them, not for St. Patrick itself. So they wanted their own whiskey, and the big companies wouldn't pay attention to it. And they came across one of our guys. He said, "I got the guy for you," and they got a hold of me, and we created a special whiskey for them. You know, and they're much happier. It's besides that, we they're 69th. They're mainly New York City cops and firemen, so they're basically first responders. So we've ended up giving $1 a bottle back to the regiment on a monthly basis for the Widow and Children's Fund and for the Historical Trust. And that's not just to start, that's in perpetuity. So we give back to those that take care of us, which is, I think, what we should do all over this country. If people protect us, we should give them back to in case something happens. So we do that, but the whiskey goes down very easy. I blended something. A lot of Irish whiskey's got is bitey, and except for the expensive stuff. So I said, let's do something we can afford to drink, yet be very smooth like an expensive whiskey, which is what this is. So it goes down simple, and it finishes dry, but it makes life go easier. So if you're in a tough scrum, you pull a muscle, you do this, or you're in a better mood, it goes down. And as it's dry, you seem to be thirsty to have another one. And it goes in. So we're really happy about it, especially with the Irish and how rugby is growing in the U.S. It's unbelievable, the growth.
What is the relationship between Ireland and sorry, not Ireland, rugby? What's the link there?
Although Ireland picked up rugby about 50 years, and about 1873, 1874 after England, and they started playing against each other all the time. Of course, there's always been a big English-Irish rivalry.
And I guess you're a rugby fan also, right? Have you played?
I'm just getting into it. I went to school in California, and which was a long time ago, and we used to actually have the Australians come up and play rugby for a month at a time. Oh. And it was tremendous. But those guys don't know when to stop. They were like Iron Men. I thought we were tough in football. They didn't need pads, and they did everything, and it was great to watch. I don't get a chance to follow as much as I would like. I do a lot of traveling. I just came back from Ireland a couple of weeks ago under quarantine. I have to go back a couple of weeks in quarantine. And yet I was in San Diego. I've been in Fort Lauderdale, Louisiana. I'm all over the place. It's I'm lucky to know where to call home.
But you have always something nice to drink, I guess, right?
Well, that's one of the great things about it. Is it's, as we always say here, it's to the team. They have an officers club at the Armory, and they have a very simple toast over there. It's to the people that were there before. It's to the museum, people that are here now, and the people to come. And it simple goes to the regiment, and that's what it is. It's all about the team, the people that you're with. So. Although you may not be, I'll have a little bit for you. The alcohol kills germs. Yep.
Cagney, have you tasted the whiskey yourself?
If that's whiskey, I'm Spanish.
Dare I say, I messed up when I brewed it. It lost the color. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, I have had it. It's been involved at our last two socials between Surfing and Rusted. So I had some. Actually, I had some yesterday at somebody's house, and quality, absolutely. Chris said it. It goes down smooth, a little dry, but it goes down very smooth. I enjoyed it.
We use to make it interesting. I age some of it in different types of bourbon casks. Use bourbon casks for caramel and vanilla, and then I use a little bit of some sherry cask to take the bite off the back, and I use a little bit of port cask to fill it. It's international, like rugby. I'm amazed at how many countries are embracing the game these days for the rugby. It's really gotten huge.
Chris, quick question. You said you brew it in multiple different casks. Now, is that the same batch gets brewed in different casks for a certain amount of time, or just a different? Or how do you decide that?
So the wood, the barrel that it's in it gives a lot of flavor. So after they make the whiskey, they have to put it in a barrel. In Ireland, the grain is raised in Ireland. It's distilled there. They put it in used barrels. So some of these barrels are different types of char barrels from bourbon that were used before. Bourbon you only used once. So they use this over there for that. And they use some barrels that came from Portugal. So each has different flavors.
I was going to ask how you get a consistent flavor having all those different barrels involved.
That's what they call me, the master blender. The master distiller is like a chemist. The master blender is the guy that puts it all together because it's not consistent.
True.
Like an athlete, they all come from the same area, the same spot. Trees grow, you can pick them at the same time, but after you put them in something for a few years, they all taste different. So I have to then go, and it's a hard job. I have to taste whiskey all day and figure how to make them taste the same,
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm tasting 60 whiskeys before 7:30 in the morning, so it's not quite as nice as it sounds, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of Uber, I guess.
Me? No. When I was in quarantine in Ireland, everything was delivered to my hotel room. Okay. I was there for 5 days under quarantine with 19 bottles in the room, and it wasn't so bad.
So listen, Chris, are you gonna be attending any of the sevens? Maybe
I'm gonna try to make it down. We've got believe it or not, most of our team lives down in Fort Lauderdale and West Palm. So you've got quite a few people down there. Sean Guerin, you've got Jay Malty and other guys.
I spoke with Yvette today.
There you go, Yvette. So I think she was just up here. So you have a lot of them down there. You have more down there than we do up here. I roast in the heat, but I like to get down there and see a couple of games. I've been happy to be able to move around. This weekend I'm going out to Wisconsin, so you never know where I'm going to be.
Maybe for Beerfoot, the last one on the beach.
I will. I'll get a hold of Sean and Yvette and see if I can get on down, and it'd be nice. Also, it's 95 degrees up here with 90% humidity, so it's got to be better down there.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. So, Chris, thank you very much for stopping by, and for supporting rugby in Florida. I think,
pleasure.
Actually, one of the things that I think is so important for any sport, and especially for rugby, in the sense that we don't have many companies supporting the sport as we should, and it helps a lot, for so many things. So I really appreciate your commitment to
Good. You'll see our people at the games. They'll have a table or a tent, and then they'll someplace afterwards. Always.
Oh yeah.
To remember the glory, and to take away the pain, depending upon your day.
Yeah. Well, there's always pain at the end of the tournaments. That's for sure.
There we go. I'd rather drink whiskey than liniment. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect.
Bye-bye. Well, that's pretty cool to have a sponsor. I'm very glad we had one this season. So still, we don't have the guest, which I guess is going to be showing up any moment.
Correct.
In the meantime, Cagney, let's go a little bit over the tournaments we've had so far. We were meeting with Ross to do an episode after each tournament, but it just hasn't happened. So far we have two. You've been at both. You've played at both, right? You've played a little bit.
Played a little bit.
Not as much as in the good old days, huh?
Not as much as before the Fighting 69th days.
A lot of this, a lot of that. Yeah.
Love me. So the tournaments have been pretty good this summer. You mentioned our lack of rain. Ross and I were joking around. I told him that I would pay for a new design if we turn surfing into tent wreck sevens, because as you know, we have monsoons every year. Tents get broken. Luckily, this year we didn't have a single drop of rain. The day was beautiful at surfing. Saturday, 2 weekends ago in Orlando, was hot as could be, but another phenomenal day for rugby across the board.
Yeah, well, we're going to play the highlights of the finals for the men's. I don't have the women's, but I have both men's.
Charlie can't hear you, sir.
You can't hear me?
Now
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yep.
I was saying we're going to play some highlights from the finals of the men's. I don't have the women's, unfortunately.
So that was an awesome effort play there by Paul, chasing down the UCF Honey Badgers for about 80 meters to cause a knock on in the try zone. So, hey, great effort right there.
Yeah, some people say it was a high tackle also, but we'll let that slide. And we have to say that this was actually not the team that was supposed to play the final, right? It was supposed to be Naples, and they had some issues with numbers.
Correct. From my understanding, Naples had been playing. They came with, I believe it was 15 guys, and they played all their social games, all their elite games. And by that time, they were already 6-7 games deep into the day, and were supposed to go for, I want to say it would have been their 8th game for the finals. And the gentleman said that they didn't have any legs left behind them, and they felt it would be a disservice to their opponents
Yeah.
the tournament and probably risk some injury for them. So they respectfully bowed out. But I blame Taipai.
I think that maybe it was a good decision because this was a pretty good game. It was pretty tight.
I got to give it to you, man. These Honey Badgers, they were nonstop. They fought. Their effort went from the first minute to the last minute. And we look forward to seeing them again this weekend. They're short a couple players this weekend, so they're going to compete in the social. But the gentlemen have said that they want to continue to work and perform at an elite level. One of our Stormers players, Jeremy, is currently coaching on their side with Seabass, and they're going to continue to collaborate with the Stormers so they can get high-level competition and we can continue to grow the sport in Florida.
I'm not sure. These are the guys from UCF, basically, the Honey Badgers.
Yeah, most of them are Honey Badgers from UCF, with the exception of wherever Murray is. Well, he's from Orlando with the ball in hand right there.
He's from USF, Murray.
No, I'm saying Murray is the only one that's from out of Orlando. But the gentleman that just scored is from UCF, and the other one that gave the offload, he played with Orlando for quite a few summers. So Murray is going to play again with the Honey Badgers this weekend. But they're a predominantly UCF-based team.
Yeah, I was surprised at how nice were these fields that in the past were not very nice. They redid them all.
Absolutely. You know, the Central Florida Fairgrounds never are known for their quality fields. There's crabgrass holes, potholes, anthills, but fields 1 and 2 were phenomenal.
They were perfect. Other than the post that, you know, I really, being a rugby field freak, purist maybe. I really, if I don't see a couple of posts on the field, it's just like the sport is not complete. And it was funny because at one point, I think it was actually you guys, the first try you scored, typically when we have football posts, they put the try line in front, right? And this time, which was good, the try line was beneath the post. Correct. And the first try you guys went to score, he thought it was like as usual in front of the post, and and it was not.
Yeah, no, it's you know, it's a little unfortunate. You know, we always tell each other, our coach tells us in any tournament we've ever played in, we want to walk the field, familiarize ourselves with the field, and understand where the try zone is. And again, you know, you can know that the try zone is supposed to be behind the post. However, unfortunately, you know, common knowledge lets us know that it's not, and we run right through the try zone. Well, I don't run past anything anymore nowadays.
So this is a final between Pelicans and Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
Daytona, how do you pronounce it? Please correct
Daytona,
me.
the coconut, you know, otherwise known as Gongamutu. So obviously Daytona won the first. No, I'm sorry. Pelicans won surfing. Daytona wins rusted, and now they're both going to be back in social play for Fiji. So let's just see if it's another matchup at the end and who takes it on top.
Yeah, this was a pretty entertaining game also.
Yep. Doc, little tricky kick over there. Doc's been around for a while doing those things. You know, Doc obviously knows Perry, played for years in Daytona with Perry and everybody else when Brian was coaching. So, you know, we have a play after him, you know, went along with the legacy.
It seemed like they had a little bit more experienced team, Daytona, right?
So Daytona has Doc and Brock. Obviously, Brock, I believe, played with Arkansas State. You know, both of there's Brock right there. Both know the game. And the coaching and the structure provided by Daytona. I can't speak on the same for the Pelicans. I don't know their coaching setup. I believe it's Bongo, but I know, obviously, Doc has played at the highest level for the last 20 years. So I'm pretty sure that what he teaches them during practice is the exact same thing that he's been able to see, play, and execute at the highest level. So they were really impressive last weekend.
Yeah, maybe they should be moving up.
Really
As
you know what? That's something to consider.
No, because we got that schedule pretty nicely squared off right now, don't we?
Okay. Yes. We have to make one more adjustment. You know, you and I did talk. Actually, let's use that as a quick little segue into Fiji just for a moment. The schedule for Fiji, let's hope, will be posted by tomorrow. We do know that, unfortunately, the U19 bracket is going to have to pull out of competition. We only had participation from Boca U19 and Tampa Crew U19. So, obviously, big thank you to both programs for committing to play for Fiji. I know Jacksonville is without numbers right now, and that's a 5.5-hour trip. And not to mention, Boca's pretty much local, and I believe Cape Sevens, the U19 program run by Brock, they were short on numbers, and Tampa Crew decided that it just, it wasn't something that they wanted to do, to drive down 3.5, 4 hours just to play the same team 3 times. So again, I'm going to call out Chris Vazel, Boca U19. Thank you very much. Instead of asking for a refund, they've donated their registration back to the Fiji fundraiser, which is going to go back to his widow and their daughter. So Boca, cheers. Thank you guys for that.
That's nice.
So, really good, Charlie. You posted that. Thank you, sir.
No, I actually did this for the podcast.
Awesome. So yeah, here's our pools. Here's the breakdown. There's one thing that TBD, if we could have figured out a way to get a few more teams in the elite, we wanted to go heavy in the elite, because I know FAU does have an interest in playing elite. I will make it known that the young boys at FAU wanted to play the highest level competition as possible, so we all can admire that. However, for the standpoint of coming up with a schedule that works, it really would have thrown a wrench in scheduling and breaking up pool play, and they've done an awesome opportunity by saying that they would move down to social to even things out. So we have a pool of 5 for elite, 8 for the social side, and 4 ladies. So it's going to be another interesting day.
It is. And let me ask you, have you heard from our guest?
Can I check my phone? Do I have permission to do that?
Of course. Who said otherwise? So
just double checking. Malachi said he will keep us posted. Just so you know, they had an extended training session just now, and they're off to do some film, and they're going to take headshots. He's going to look a whole lot better on a picture than I would. So right now, that's what they're doing. He's going to stay in touch with us. As soon as he's free, he's going to jump on, but he's currently tied up, and pretty sure he can't go tell Coach Mike Friday.
He's in California, right?
Yes, sir. They're still in Chula Vista doing some last-minute preparations and getting ready for travel.
Okay, so listen, I guess if he has all that ahead, I don't think he's going to make it.
I don't think so either. It was a last minute. He does send his apologies again. If possible, we can reschedule. He's committed to the podcast. Obviously, Malachi is a Florida product. He came up, he's played in Vegas with your son and I. He wants to help put us on the next level, just as he is on the next level. So anything we could do to make that happen, he's flexible and committed to doing so.
No, we definitely want to have him. We actually tried to have him last year. Wait, I'm a bit confused. Or earlier in the year, and when he was playing with the Sabercats, right? And
yes,
it was sort of a little bit tough. But okay, so maybe we're gonna do that. This is, as talking Florida rugby occasionally. So it's always, I think, nice to put something out, keep people on the loop of what is going on. I will, however, play this little video that you sent me earlier, just for fun, okay?
Sure, for fun. And I'm going to make sure he gets
this
the exact
right here
speech I have for him.
So that's you. That's you.
Look at Cag and Malachi. What's the step?
So that was Fire v Ice in preparation for Vegas back in, I think, 2015. So at that time, I'm not going to say Malachi was an unknown, but he was an unknown. He went out to Vegas with us, and absolutely just his athleticism, his speed, his ability to change the pace, change direction was just second to none out there in Vegas. And he did a great job. But I'd like to do it again, Charlie. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I'm going to play it again because listening to Ronnie also with the comments is very funny.
I have this video right here. Look at Cag and Malachi. What's the step?
That's so funny. Hey man, I'm thinking now.
Take this moment.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I want to take the moment. Malachi does not need to say "you're welcome." I'm just going to say thank you. More apparently, "you're welcome." Should I say, Malachi? Pretty sure that moment was not one of your best in life, and being stepped by Fat Cag, the Bob, and on the wing 1-on-1. I'm pretty sure that was if not the fuel to the fire, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back that basically took him to the next level of elite status. From then on, he went to the SaberCats and then to the Eagles. So I'm pretty sure that it was my cutback on him that just sparked it off for him. So you're welcome, brother.
Hey, everybody has a couple of seconds of. So anyway, I'm also going to show a try he scored against Argentina this couple of weeks ago in the LA Sevens. I guess this is one of the reasons he got selected, right? His good performance here and in the UK when they went the week before. So,
good support here.
Esdale
Runs a nice loop under.
On the field now, and Esdale.
He's like running with no effort, I don't know.
No, he definitely glides. He's got an effortless movement to him, and on top of it, with ball in hand, we saw what he did against Korea. I believe there were 3 kickoffs in a row, and he recovered 3 kickoffs in a row. Malachi's ability to get up there, along with Perry, Maka Anufe, Danny Barrett, they get up there, and of course, that's one of Friday's biggest things is ball control off the kickoff. So too does Ronnie believe that with the Stormers. So Malacchi can do that. He can do ball in hand. And again, I want him to confirm for me. I believe he signed with the University of Miami at a high school to play safety. So obviously defensively to be a safety means he can cover ground, read the right angles, and make solid tackles, which is another reason why he's been picked as one of the Olympians. Even if it's a traveling reserve today, but hey, we'll get there.
And how did he get into the SaberCats? Was it right out of Orlando?
I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, these are things that Mal's going to have to give us the information on. But I know once he left, well, not once he left Florida, but after playing a little bit with Florida HPP and doing what he did with USF, I believe there were a few Tiger camps involved. And I believe if it was the Tiger camps, that's how he got some exposure. And I do, if I'm correct, and we can double check that, but I think he got noticed and contacted while we were in Vegas back in 2015, and that, I believe a little bit of everything is what kind of got his name out there, got his film, got the opportunities. And then once he joined the SaberCats, if I'm correct, about 3 years ago, Mal was pretty much a wing from what I gather. And then they started moving him into the centers because unlike many Americans who are just fast with the ball in hand, tuck the ball and start doing their things, he had enough comprehension of the game, enough skill set, obviously, from playing with the Bears and then, UCF and everybody from there on out. He was able to transition inside to a ball-in-hand skill position, which created more opportunity for him, as you can see now, whereas with the Eagles, he's a wing/center. So obviously to have the ball in hand means he's got a little more comprehension of the game, unlike some others that are just J-hook and go.
Okay, I'm going to show, just to round it up, a few clips I found from his 2017-7 season in Orlando. A young lad.
UCF played up with Orlando that summer. There's Tristan. Tristan came to Vegas with us. There goes Eddie, another guy who's played high level with us here. Oh, that's Will. He embarrassed Will. That tournament he played with a bad hammy, so he was probably running at about 75% pace that tournament.
Oh, this one is sort of, I don't know why it's here.
Oh, gee, I wonder why. Oh, go figure.
Hey, man.
So watch how he turns Will inside and out here.
Yeah.
And just right up the sideline.
Man, and Will is fast, huh? He could.
And look, you can see Malacchi pulls up right here. But, yep, Will's fast. Will's got a real high-effort guy. A lot of pace.
Yeah, then he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Cagney, thank you very much for filling in. As you can tell, we really miss Ross. He really puts this thing rounded up. He's a pro. I probably don't pay him enough. I'm not paying him anything right now, but if I would, I think he does a great job. He had a little family issue that I hope is being resolved. So let's see if we can do this maybe next week. If you have to talk to Malacchi,
sure,
and see But I mean, if he has practice, let's do it a little bit later, whatever. Okay.
Sure. I'm checking the phone one last time. No, he did not write back. Sure. We'll talk offline. We'll see what works for us. Present it to Mal and make sure that he's available. And if we have to
Maybe-
adjust our timing, we will.
Maybe next Tuesday, and we can go over how Fiji went.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
thank you very much, Cagney, for filling in last minute, really last minute. And
My pleasure, sir.
I'll see you around. I'll see you Saturday for sure. Okay.
Absolutely. Have a great one, Jen.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
From the moment you came into this world, I know you would be a force to be reckoned with. We put a ball in your hand, skates on your feet, and your natural ability to figure things out and excel has always amazed me. And now to see this moment happening for you brings me joy to my heart. And I have to pause and thank God for his protection and grace over your life. There are just no words that I can say that truly shows how proud I am of you, because I know your journey. I know the missteps and the setbacks. I saw the disappointment when things didn't work out the way you wanted. I saw the bumps and bruises, but through it all, your focus, resilience, and perseverance has taken you to a place of purpose and success. I know your dad is smiling down from heaven. You finally found your rhythm, and this is only the beginning. Congratulations, Mal, for your selection into the 2020 USA Olympic Rugby team. Love you to infinity. Love, Mom.